Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from MouseSteps.com.
And this is episode number 537.
537.
Of MouseSteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. There is so much happening this year. We're looking forward to the Disney Music Festival at Disneyland Paris. We are looking forward to Paint the Night and the 70th anniversary at Disneyland. And of course, the Disney Destiny later this year.
I was going to say the Disney Destiny as well.
So much happening. We've got a parade coming here to the Magic Kingdom this summer. So head to MEI and Mouse Fan Travel to book your travel, and Epic Universe.
That's right.
Universal Fan Travel as well.
A no obligation quote, easily gotten. So today we're going to start off here at Epcot. What a beautiful morning here. Once again, the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
And we were here to see Rick Springfield. Mm-hmm. And not only to see Rick Springfield, but to do the Garden Rocks dining package, which I keep thinking eat to the beat. Eat to the beat.
Right, that's what it used to be.
Yeah. So, but on the way, we saw 2 penguins. And so I think they were not the only characters. You know, like if you look at the International Gateway while you're walking, you never know that if you might see some surprise characters. I was on that bridge at the time, and I posted it to our Facebook page, our MouseSteps Facebook page. And like, I'm just taking some, nice pan, and all of a sudden I see these penguins. And I see Jeff behind them. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, go get away from them. Like, I just wanted the penguins, but we got you in the center.
There's quite a variety of characters the last few weeks. And of course, we had those Mary Poppins Penguins. Though, now we have made it to the Spice Road table. Always a favorite of ours. And as you mentioned, we did the Garden Rocks Dining Package. We're going to talk all about that and some of the food items we had and give our overall thoughts on if it's worth it to do one of the packages.
And I forgot to write the price down, but I believe it was $56 and also tax
Not including
and gratuity.
Tax and tip, right.
Which I thought was a fantastic deal because we ended up with front row seats also for Rick Springfield, who is one of my favorite performers since I was a kid.
And we were able, I'm showing this, we didn't sit in this seat, but you could if we wanted to. We were able to eat outside, no problem, with a beautiful view of World Showcase Lagoon.
And we weren't right on the edge, but we had a nice spot. So here is the menu. You get to choose 2 items, but you also get the lemon vegetable tagine. So, and then 2 items per person, then the dessert platter, the chocolate tart, and an alcoholic beverage or non-alcoholic if you prefer.
So once we added up the cost of everything we chose, it was about equal. It was about a break-even deal.
We pretty much broke even, which is not the same as like Candlelight has been in the past for us. So it was a really good value because we got these great seats.
And look at the amount of our first course here.
Well, that's the lemon vegetable tagine with the olives, the preserved lemon, and the couscous, which was really nice. Really, you can't really tell how big it is here. It was really big. And I remember saying after this, I'm like, I'm full.
I was just about to bring that up. And once we finish with that, you're like, okay, I think I'm good. Oh, but I don't want to get too far behind because these are delicious sangrias. I had the homemade sangrias. I had the red and
or house-made.
Right,
house-made sangria. You had the red and I had the rosé, and they were both very nice.
I'm just showing a bit of one of the portions I had of our appetizer here.
And we didn't leave any because I thought it was really nice.
And look at all this. This is a massive amount of food. This is my lamb. I believe this is the lamb kefta there. And which was delicious, by the way, delicious. The carrots, and you tried some of these carrots.
The carrots were really nice as well. The Moroccan carrots have a vinaigrette, and just, I thought they were just so good.
Yeah, everything was good. There were the really interesting flavors with all this. This was my shrimp, the spicy shrimp. A huge amount. You can't even tell, but there's a huge amount of shrimp under there.
You said you had about 5 shrimp?
Maybe 6. They were big, and they were actually very, very spicy. Not like the unspicy that sometimes spicy means at Disney.
Well, the chili, the garlic, the peri-peri sauce. We also had, and right now here we're looking at, I think it's called chicken bistilla, braised chicken. That wasn't as good for me because of the powdered sugar. I didn't know that I don't think it really went as well for me.
I tried it also. It was very odd. It was like dessert, but for a main chicken dessert somehow.
But the hummus fries are one of my favorite things here. Maybe my favorite, plus the sangria.
Always a winner. Those hummus fries are so good. And this was just my part. So I'm just showing this was my, you're able to get the sampler as one of your small plates. plus one more small plate. So it was massive. The desserts, not small and also very tasty.
The pomegranate chocolate tart, not really my thing as much. I really like the chocolate piece there.
I like the presentation, though. Very nice. The plate, very pretty. I mean, all of this is very photogenic. I think the best item we're looking at now in the back, the baklava.
The baklava is so good here. And that is my favorite item from the 4 items. And I'm kind of glad I didn't like everything because I was so stuffed.
Right. We ended up taking most of these desserts home, actually.
Right. And I don't think we even finished them all. The cookie was very interesting.
Was good. I enjoyed the cookie. Like an almond cookie was very nice.
But the baklava was of these 4 items, my favorite.
So again, a great meal, and the payoff is you get your 2 tickets to the Garden Rocks concert. And so we got in line about an hour before the concert started.
Right, you still want to get there early if you want to get the best seats, but you're still going to get better seats. Even if you walk in at the last minute, you're still going to get better seats than you would have gotten.
And this is what it looks like an hour before showtime. They start letting in about a half hour before showtime. And for the show, we ended up front row right. In this case, there was a little bit of sun for a part of the set, but I was overall very pleased with the location. I mean, how can you complain a front row spot?
And then we got back in line afterwards.
And we got to see another concert, and we had a pretty good view for that too. And let's talk about Rick Springfield for a minute. 75 years old,
going to be 76.
Almost 76, puts on a really great show. And I was very impressed.
For the second show, he came out, or the third show. This was the second show
of the night.
And for the last show, he came out in the audience, and he was even closer to us.
You don't think I'm not going to show that, do you?
Oh, I have no idea what you're going to show.
Yes, of course.
But he really does put on still. And I mentioned, I've been a fan for over 40 years. Here he is. He's in a different type of outfit.
He says it's his armor because when he knows he's going out into the crowd, he wears this armor so he's protected. He's got a big tour coming up, he says.
Yeah, and so he took somebody's ears.
Many ears.
And you can see he's even closer to us here when we were sitting in the regular seats, which aren't as good for, for him coming out, they were great.
They were great.
Yeah,
this couldn't have worked out better. For the second show, you really wanted to be in the front, but for this final show of the night, he spent more time out in the crowd and doing other things, and it just happened to be right in front of where we were. So, what a perfect evening, a great date night at Epcot for us. I really enjoyed the whole experience. Well worth the money.
Right, I thought so. Getting that seat and. It was good. It was a good deal.
So the next day, we made our way to Disney's Grand Floridian Resort because it's time for the chocolate Easter eggs and also the cottage there.
Well, it almost looks like now they call the whole thing the Grand Cottage. You have the Grand Cottage and then you have the eggs that are like part of it. So they have 19 eggs this year. I think it's a little less than some other years. I'm just going to say the Grand Cottage has half the items it had for treats.
Yes, that's true.
Year.
And we're going to show them. We'll show them at the end after looking at all the eggs. I like this Tarzan egg. This is new this year. There are a few returning eggs, but this one is brand new. Very detailed. If you get down and close and look at this, it's kind of like you get a Tarzan treehouse in an Easter egg, a chocolate egg. It's really quite amazingly done.
And through the years, they've changed. It used to be almost all the eggs were the same shape. But of course, it's very different now. But here you have Maleficent Dragon from Disney Festival of Fantasy Parade.
That's another really winner. I mean, very well done.
Each egg is designed and created by a culinary cast member.
And it tells you that it's very nice that they actually put who created it and what department they're from. That is relatively new.
Well, they're all the culinary department.
Right. That's
no,
true.
That's okay. But
I'm
here,
confusing it with the other events.
Yes, and here is you can see the Zootopia egg. It's all over the egg, and the way they display them now, you can see the entire egg. Pretty much, which is really nice.
You can just take a walk around and see front and back. Yeah, I think the way they do it, we're going to do that right now. This is the front of the Snow White egg. By the way, we just saw the Snow White live action film the other day, and we enjoyed it. So this is the front of the Snow White egg.
And I did enjoy it too.
Yeah,
I liked it. No, I just want to make sure. So here's the Cinderella egg, and these are the shape of the chocolate eggs that, I think. I'm trying to think if it's 16 to 20 inches, 9 to 12 pounds, which were standard. And now, not all the eggs are the same.
Yeah, for many years, as you just
Was
mentioned,
pretty much
this
there.
exact
Yes.
shape, just like this. This is amazing. I believe this was a holdover from the last year or two, and it started off as a kind of a paint by numbers, and by the end of the season, it was fully done with color.
It was used for demonstration.
Yes.
There are two eggs like that were brought back, a Pixar one and that one, and that is Everest.
This is one of my favorites.
Really great.
Expedition Everest, Forbidden Mountain.
You've got that Disco Yeti inside.
Disco Yeti in full force. They need to make this move like the old Yeti. That would be very impressive. A little animatronic in that cave there.
And I believe, and I don't know if it's Mary Kate who did this. There's one cast member we were told last year who loves light and uses light all the time. So here is Madame Leota for the Haunted Mansion. You've got some candles around as well.
And it looks like she has the seance table, just like in the real Haunted Mansion. Very well done. This is Belle and the Beast and the Enchanted Rose there. This is one of my favorite, probably one of the nicest and most detailed eggs of all.
And
There's the Beast, and you're about to see some Belle.
This is the second year for it. And so really beautifully done, like a 3D effect here for Belle and Beast.
And last year we were told they probably will retire an egg after 2 seasons. So in other years they used to go on and on, but now they're trying to really freshen it up. So you won't see an egg more than a couple years at this point.
And that's why you probably don't see necessarily quite as many. This 101 Dalmatians one is also one of my very favorites. Just a beautifully designed egg. You've got Cruella. I
like the hair. I got the close-up. That's so well done. Setting it up from the back. Really, it's a must to see, as you mentioned, front and back for sure for these eggs.
And just look, at the design all over the egg is just gorgeous. You have Brother Bear here, and Dumbo is to the left.
And we're looking at we're going to look at one side first, and then the front. The front is more impressive. I do want to say I wish we could convey how wonderful it smells when you're there in person.
It always
you get
smells
that
really
delicious chocolatey. I mean, all of this stuff is really made out of chocolate, and you can smell it, and it smells so good.
And you've got the magic mirror on the other side of the Evil Queen.
This is so great. We're going to go right inside the egg and look at this Brother Bear with all the cave paintings. Kind of reminds me of Spaceship Earth, the first scene of Spaceship Earth. Very well done.
Yeah, and I didn't even really see this because I probably would have had to get down a little bit more, so I'm going to need to photograph it again.
Yep.
And you have a hidden Mickey. Can you see that?
I do. I saw
19 hidden Mickeys. I assume it's one per egg, I assume.
This is another favorite. The Dumbo one is also really cool. Like Dumbo shooting out the water. I thought it's really nice.
And it's good you could kind of get on top of, above Dumbo. I'm a little short.
Well, I mean, all of this is just fun to shoot. It's fun to go there and see it and experience it. And as a photographer, a videographer, it's actually enjoyable because there's so much to see. There's so many details. I enjoy, every year I look forward to this.
And there's also a hidden Mickey here. I don't know if you're going to, yes, there's just right on the bottom of that base.
I saw it at the last second.
Yes, and Evil Queen was one of my favorites as well. And here's that Pixar egg, which was also a demonstration egg. I don't know if they're doing any sort of demonstration this year. I've not seen anything about that.
I did ask if there's any eggs that aren't out yet, and I was told everything is out. So that would answer.
So maybe not.
Right, maybe possibly not for that, but who knows?
Yeah, but it was interesting to watch the eggs being created or painted. So here is Anxiety from Inside Out 2. This is there's actually a lot of details on some of those eggs as well. I need to photograph more of them.
Well, there's usually one large egg, and this year was the large. Remember that one year they had Kevin, a giant Kevin egg? Mm-hmm. So there's always one giant one, and this is the giant one for this year. Let's take a look at some of the returning food items.
I've heard good things about the guava. Last year, and I counted, there was, the cream cheese carrot coffee cake too.
I think we're going to try that. That looks good.
Last year, there were like 17 items, and now there's 8. So there's a lot less variety, and I'm not sure if some items weren't as popular, or they just cut back.
But if that loaf is at all, that coffee loaf is as good as the Christmas one, it's worth it. It's heavy in real life,
Right.
And as when we were there, it was not busy, by the way, at all. There was never much of a line, so maybe they might think of increasing the items. More items, more people.
It would be nice to see maybe like a chocolate Easter bunny or something,
Yeah,
created
that's
by
a great
them.
idea.
So they may have had that last year. I was just surprised it was a fairly small amount of treats.
So this is going to be very interesting because this will be the first year where we will not be around Walt Disney World for Easter. We'll be at Disneyland Paris for Easter. So it'll be interesting to see what's done there. I'll miss seeing the Happy Easter Parade, though.
But I don't even know if we'll be in Disneyland Paris itself
who
for
knows?
Easter. Maybe we'll be down in Paris.
So anyway, that is another show. Thanks again for listening. We want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Head to their website, fill out a no obligation quote. Again, we have here Epic Universe, and also the parade, the summer parade. We have not, we don't know an official date on it yet. We also have Disneyland Paris, Disney Music Festival, and Disney Destiny, and Paint the Night Parade. My favorite parade.
Oh, Disneyland 70th
that.
sounds amazing. Just Paint the Night alone is all I need, but there's a lot of other special.
A lot of fun stuff coming, but some of it not till the official anniversary of July 17th.
So once again, we want to say thanks for listening, and I'm not sure what will be in store, but we'll have something good for next week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.